Hey Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is July 5th, and this is Flosstube number 70. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you're here for Chemistry 101, you're in the wrong classroom. I hope you had a great 4th of July yesterday and you've recovered from your neighbors blowing out your ears with all the firecrackers that were going on, and that everything was safe in your world. We have what have we been doing? Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I shot a video, but I had 2 project bag sales. I think I sewed 45 project bags, which was a lot. It's a lot of sewing. But the sales always go so well, and I'm appreciative to all the people who buy bags. Thank you so much. And I know it's crazy, it's a melee, but I appreciate everyone who comes over and takes a look and purchases. So I sell bags on my sales page on Instagram, which is at Kindred Stitcher Designs. So besides that, which took 2 weekends, my husband and I just got back from going down to the Oregon coast where he grew up and his mom still lives. Really small little town. We took her out to brunch, and then we went to a barbecue. We went to another friend's house. And there was a celebration of life there for someone who had passed away. So there were lots and lots of people we hadn't seen for a long time. And then we met up with some friends in the evening and just visited on her front deck. And that was Saturday. Then today, I'm sorry, that was Saturday. And then we went to my sister's yesterday, and we went swimming. They have a pool. It was really nice. So warm in the water. The water was like 82 degrees, and it was nice out. It wasn't too hot like it was earlier in the week when it was 108 degrees. Then it was 109 degrees. And then I came out here to my craft room to shoot a video last week, and I thought, oh, heck no. It's so hot out here. I just am not built for that hot weather. And was a lot of whining going on for a few days. So once we got past that, then we had a nice weekend, and today we just drove home. We're done peopling for a while, I think. I'm an extrovert. My husband's an introvert, but he has the gift of gab. So he is entertainable and he is entertainment. But at the end of the day, when it's over, he's tired. Like, he didn't want to talk. Once we rode home in radio silence, and it was fine because I stitched in the car a little bit, and that was it. So back to reality, back to, getting ready for the next week of work. Next weekend, I have a family reunion, so I'm off Friday, and we'll see other families. So more peopling in the future. What else? So, I want to show you some things. So I bought some fabric, and here's the thing. I've got to be honest with myself, because I go to the fabric store, and I'm like, I'm just going to look for such and such, right? And then I get up there, and they've already cut it, and I'm like, oh, I'll take a half yard of all this, and it's like, cha-ching, 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 and I'm like, oh, I better sell some bags. So I bought some more bag material, and I just love this store. It's called Sisters Quilt Store, and it's in Chehalis, Washington. They have, I don't know, bazillions of bolts of fabric. This one I thought was sweet. This will be the outside of one bag and the inside. Isn't that cute? And these will be the zippers. So I have a lot of extra zippers. I don't know what I did, if I just over ordered or what. Oh, I know what I did. I ordered a bundle from an Etsy store called Zipit, at ZIPIT, and you can buy one that has labels on the bottom of every zipper. And so I bought longer zippers, and I just cut those off, and those are my swatches. Because sometimes you look at the little picture on the internet, and you're like, it's like buying fabric for your project. And you're like, I think it's going to look like this, right? And then you get it, you're like, nope, that does not match at all. So I have some of those. And then I have just some leftover zippers. So I tried to match as many of the zippers I already had in my stash with material. So I'll show you a few other materials here, because these are so stinking cute. And I do have to buy some more zippers. I used as much as I could. So here is this is by Laundry Basket Quilts. Isn't that beautiful fabric? This will be the inside. And here's a few zippers that I have selected for those bags. This one is fun. This is more like, I think this might be Bonnie and Camille. Oh, please let me see. Let me see. Moda Fabrics and Sunday Stroll by, oh yeah, Bonnie and Camille. So here is the outside of the fabric, and here's the inside fabric. And isn't that adorable? These are some zipper choices that I have for those. Here is, this is the outside of one bag, and the inside, I'm going to buy more of these zippers. And here's that same fabric, but it's in a green colorway, green background. And here's the inside and some zipper choices. And I'm going to have to take a break once I show you all this stuff because it's about to tip off the table. This one, here's two of the same. Oh, there goes some zippers. Here's two of the same fabrics, right? But the insides are different. And I'm going to put white on these because I think I couldn't find any zippers that would match, even from my swatch bin. Here's the same fabric, but white. And there's the inside. Isn't this pretty? Like a cabbage rose. This is a little different. So I don't know who made this fabric, but this is sort of a periwinkle color. And it has like Morning Harvest Farms, Daisy Farm Market, Butterflies Creamery, Friends Garden Center. Super cute little labels. And just a Swiss dot. You can't see it on the, I don't think you can see it. A little bit of a tone-on-tone dot. And more of the strawberry, because this year seems like the year of strawberries, right? There's this, and this is the inside. And then sort of moving into the summer, full-on summer, like a taupe background and a taupe inside, and some darks and some green zippers. And then the last one I have to show you is a lighter kind of a taupe with a rose inside and some zipper colors. So I'm gonna get rid of my fabric so I can actually see the other stuff on the table. So hold on just a second. The beauty of editing, right? I feel much more at peace with my workspace because it was a hot mess a minute ago. Anyway, so those are the planned project bags. I hope I get at least one round in July, maybe one round of sales in August. I don't know. We'll see. If there's anything in my life that I know, it's unpredictable. So, and so let's talk a little bit about cross stitching. I had a finish. I actually had two finishes. They're at the framer though. So the first one is Always Remember by Plum Street. And this was stitched on 46 count eucalyptus, which I bought from the attic. This was one of the prettiest stitches I can remember doing in recent history. So I would encourage you, if this is your color palette, you will love stitching this. It was a great piece to think about people who have served, people who have given their lives for our freedoms. Anyway, it was a great piece to stitch. So that one I'm going to show you a picture of the stitched piece right here. All right, and then the other one that I finished is this blackbird. This is called Justice for All. So I stitched this piece up to here and I wrote Justice for All, and I did not put my initials. I took this motif and dropped it in, and I will drop a picture of that here. So that was fun to get that finished too. That one, and then Hannah Wallace by, Brenda Gervais. Those three went to the framer. And to celebrate 4th of July and patriotic stitching, I have a giveaway. So this chart, which is currently out of print, I don't know if it'll be forever out of print, but it's currently out of print, is going to be one of 2 giveaways this video. So if you would like justice for all, please write justice in your comment. Now, I also, and this is what I'm interested in. And I'll tell you the question as soon as I show you the second one. In fact, I'll do that right next. This is the second thing that I'm giving away. So this was a retreat kit. This is by Hands On Design, and it's Liberty. And it's the languages of Liberty. It includes all the finishing items. I think I absconded with the threads. In fact, I know I did, because I looked in here, I'm like, where's the threads? I must have borrowed them for other projects. But you'll get the pattern and all of the finishing pieces to do this beautiful design. I have had a little meeting with myself about what can I really reasonably stitch, and so I'm trying to be reasonable about what I keep. This, if you would like this particular design, this particular giveaway, I'm telling you, please write Liberty in your comment. And this is what I would love for you to do. Shout out a Flosstuber that you've enjoyed watching lately. Someone you think I should go watch and shout out in a future Flosstube video. So I'm going to give you a few shout outs. One is Lori Wilson. I wrote them down on my graph paper here. Lori Wilson from Thread Milk Designs. Lori has a couple, I think she might have 3 videos out now. And I believe she makes the winders for DMC thread that is 9 inches, and a ruler. It's a ruler too, that you can just wind it on your DMC skein on there and then cut it, and it gives you exactly the standard length. Must give you an 18-inch length. And she makes bottle cap needle minders, I believe. So check out Lori. Fox and Rabbit. And now they have Linens and Threads, which is a store in Australia. And they also have done a sampler every year. It's free. Brendan, I believe, does the design work. And Karen, they're a partnership, and I think they're married. They are married. They also have videos now, and they have Fox and Rabbit linen that they dye. So I enjoy watching them. Go check them out. And then 2, I think I've shouted them out recently, but I'm going to mention them again. Lisa, Primson Greenway, and Bonnie Log Cabin Stitcher are doing a woolly along, which is wool applique. And I just want to stop everything and start working on wool applique, because I watch those channels. I'm like, oh, I've got a cupboard full that I need to get to work on. And I just, one thing at a time. I'm going to sell some project bags this next month, but I do have a couple things that I want to start for a wool along. Then here's a trifecta. So Lori Textilist, Olivia B, and Carol Saltbox have all talked about a Blackbird Designs quilt along. Lori and I are good friends, and we've been talking about Blackbird Designs. She's got some quilts that she started. She's shown me in the past, and she's doing some tutorials on wool applique, and she partnered with Olivia. The 2 of them are sort of covering some Blackbird Designs quilt books, and then Carol also showed some in tandem with them, a bunch of books. And I definitely have wanted to learn applique. I wanted to work on it last year, and it just didn't make it a priority. And so this year, my goal is before the end of the year to do some wool applique. Not some wool applique, some just regular applique. I'm telling you. Then the last person, so check out all those channels if you're interested. If you love Blackbird, this is the quilt version of Blackbird, of all the Blackbird projects. So the next one, and the last one I have on my list, is Betsy Klager. So Betsy's hilarious. She is from Colorado, I think. And I always am highly entertained by Betsy's channel. She's authentic, and I love that about her. She brings her cats on, and she talks to her cats, and she talks about her cats, and she's always kind of got a very acerbic, funny delivery on her humor, and she's full of humor. So check Betsy out. That is that. Stay. Okay. All right, so the next thing I have been stitching on. I'm a little bit disjointed here, but you know, that's the way it goes. Not that, not that. Move that over there. Move this over here. All right, so I started something. I started Teresa Kogut's Faith, Hope, Peace, Love sampler. This came out last year. It's so pretty. Is it not just beautiful? I really liked it. And I thought I would do something completely different with this. So I took the rest of my 46 count eucalyptus and I started stitching it on that. And these colors are magic on this particular fabric. Jiminy Christmas. Here we go. I love this on here. The red looks scrumptious and I'm doing something different with the house. Now, okay, so here's a challenge with this. Teresa saving us stitches, bless her heart. There are motifs on here where if she wanted the background to come through, like maybe this dress isn't a full coverage dress, it's just the not straw color threads, then she has open, you know, unstitched sections in the middle of the motif. Well, we give a different color fabric. You have to think about that. And so in her house, she had like maybe 3 rows in a row and then a row of blank, which would just leave you to see the background fabric. Well, I didn't want it to be striped blue. So what I ended up doing is the 3 rows of fabric, the 3 rows of stitches, I did a satin stitch. And then the 4th row or whatever the blank row was, I did a regular cross stitch. So it sort of looks like siding on a house and it's really fun. I like it a lot. And so I'm looking forward to getting over to the big bouquet over here. And I've enjoyed stitching this one quite a bit. I can't wait to see the rest of it develop and see the colors. This has, you know, it's got the green and then next to it is that straw color. And I think I might stitch like a lighter green or something on the alternating colors, but I'm going to wait until the end and see what I think. I'll probably be so tired at the end. I'll be like, nope, just leave it the way it is. These are the colors of the threads. Now I think there's 2 greens in the original and I have at least 3. Simply because I'm test driving and it just depends on how it shows up on this blue-green fabric. So that was my start. I don't think I had any other starts this time. But I did work on a Patriot sampler by Midsummer Night Design. Okay, so here's the deal. This person is not designing anymore. But the attic has a relationship with this person that they can get some of their designs. And this is one they can get. So if you want this one, if you've been looking for this one, it's hard to find on the secondary market. Fear not, you can call the attic and you can buy it through them. So now I want you to look. I've shown you this before, but look at this. It's very blue, right? Or dark, kind of somber. It's a terrible picture. I was going to say the picture, the real life stitch looks nothing like the picture. It is, and I picked some things out of my stash, but really if it's Manor Red, I picked an XG red, Mariska's red, because I do like a bright red on a patriotic stitch. But this is going quickly. I have 3.5 pages done. There's about 2.5 pages left, and it's mostly words. So it's going to go pretty quickly. And the only thing that's really big is that there's that house in the middle and the girl. And the house is red. It's really red with like a black that's a roof and it goes down the side and the corner to give it perspective. But I think I'm going to stitch it wavy navy and use the black. So the girl's dress is a lighter blue. I can't remember what blue it is, but the house, I think I am going to stitch a little bit darker color because it grounds it. There's a lot of red already on this. And I think I want something that's going to draw your eye in and help you focus. This is fun. This is like one big sparkler that I got to stitch. I'm not sure that I'll get that done. I've sort of have decided going into this month, into June and July to stitch Patriotic. So, but I have something else I want to work on also that I'm integrating. So, you know, we make plans. Part of the fun of this is to make plans and destroy plans and remake plans, make new plans, right? And then somebody distracts you and then you change your plans completely. I stitched on the way in the car today. I stitched on this one. This was a start during Stitch Mania last year, Where Liberty Dwells by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. I don't know what I've done. I have almost destroyed this pattern. It's fallen apart. But this stitch, this is on 40 count fresco by Picture This Plus. I have stitched most of the house. And I think I changed the color of the house from eggshell to light khaki so that you could see a little bit easier in person. It's still pretty difficult to see on camera, but yeah, super cute. I have been borrowing things from projects, and what I do is when I take a skein of thread out, I leave myself a love note that says, you move this thread to this other project. So now it's like an Easter egg hunt, because sometimes I get into the other project, I'm like, nope, I moved it somewhere else. So I'm to the point where I need to get some of these smalls that I started last year in Stitch Mania done so I can put my fabric away, put my threads away, and then I'll have this big pile of things I need to finish, but whatever. It'll get done one day, right? Here's my other piece of fabric for the other one. No start there, but they will match when they are done. So there's that one. And I think, did I work on anything else? I don't know. I haven't been posting much anywhere. I did work just a smidge on this. Okay, here's the other thing that that's been calling me. And it's Andale. So I don't have a lot left on the bottom. I just did a little bit of stitching on this cartouche over here. And this is by Shakespeare's Peddler. It's called Andale Big and Beautiful. And she is big and beautiful. I am not going to take her out of the Q-snap because really I just want to finish. I have this lettering to do here, some lettering here, this motif, this one, and another one. So just maybe 4 motifs. And this band, and then she'll be done. My goal was to get this one done this year, but I feel like if I had 2 weeks of stitching time, I don't know if I'll get that. This time of year, it's difficult, right? I think it's hard to watch Flosstubes because we're so busy in our yards and we're out in barbecues and we're socializing. But if I could just get 2 weeks or so, I think I could get that done. If I could just get 2 weeks. We'll see. I've got a reunion this weekend, so it's not, I'll just have to work on it during the week. Maybe if I have this week, next week, and the following week. We'll see. We shall see. Got another stack of stuff I want to show you over here in a minute, but I do want to show you a couple of other things. Okay. A few purchased items. I bought some French General. Can I tell you how much I love this? I love this. Now, I thought it was 5 yards continuous so I could use it as a back on a quilt, but I think that they cut a yard off of it, which was kind of irritating. I didn't see that. I'm sure it was on the posting. I just didn't see it. I was so excited. I was like, yes, I'll buy it. Buy it now. Buy it this minute. I probably can do something to piece it together. Lori will be able to help me. She's magic that way. And then I have this to say thank you to Carol Saltbox. She pointed these out. Some of these books, these acorn threads, have blackbird design patterns in there. This acorn quilt is a blackbird quilt. I didn't know that. Lori has this. She and I are looking at this with, it generates a lot of ideas and conversation. And this, I love this little pillow that is in this particular book. Then I picked up Country Inn. I didn't have this one by Barb and Elma. I think Carol showed this in her Flosstube, the last one, and that has a gorgeous quilt in it. I picked up some Hyde Park fabric from Blackbird, which I love this. I have it in a different colorway. I just didn't have the pink. And I do love me some pink. And then this is from, I think this is from the old needle shop on Etsy. I wasn't going to buy it. I just thought I really, 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 really like this. It's a needle book. And it's blackbird fabric. And it's just so pretty. Isn't that adorable? This would have been handy this weekend when I was traveling and I had the wrong size needle. So I could have a couple different sizes in there and have it in my project bag and not worry about not having the right size needle with me. So that one, I don't know if they have any more, but that was from Etsy, the old needle shop. I picked up, this is called Alley Pops. So what these are, and I asked Lori about them. She's never used these. It is a product you use to create like small circles for applique. And it's not for wool applique, it's for fabric applique. So if I take a piece of fabric and I lay this underneath it, I put the fabric on top, I lay this on top, and it locks the fabric in between. I've cut around here and then I trim a little bit closer. I would trim a little bit closer, and then I'm going to use starch to kind of push that down, tamp it down, and an iron to seal it. You let it cool, and then you pop it out, and you have perfect little circles. So, you know, we like gadgets, right? And it's a home, I think it's like a small business. And I'm all about supporting small businesses. So there's that. That was for quilting. And then, what else do we have? This is on my short list. Aeneas Curvier. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. I bought the kit from Kitten Stitcher, the silk threads. I bought this years ago. I just absolutely love it. It might be like Gilet though, where when you open up the pattern, it's definitely darker. The colorway looks darker, right? So you think, oh, it's going to be these bright, cheerful, sweet, soft colors, and it's like super somber. But it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. The weird thing is that the I don't know if it's a misprint. I need to email Isabella, but she wrote the names of the pattern and she wrote all the threads on the back, but they don't match the pattern. So I'm not sure what I'm missing, and I'm sure that it'll get resolved, no problem. So this is on my short list. Once I get that figured out, after Andale is done, this is hopefully what I'm going to stitch next. Probably August before I get to it. And I'm kind of all over here, you guys. So I have I want to show you patriotic stitching, but I also want to show you a couple of things that go with that Blackbird design quilt along. Okay, so I have this book, and this one is the one that I want to do. I don't know. I'm sure I have fabric that will suffice. I'm sure I have things that are pink and red. I'll have to go find a dark charcoal or dark brown fabric. And those greens, they're just like the charts. They're not probably really green. They're more of a brownish green, which gives it that soft romantic feel. So this is one that once I figure out the wool applique, the regular applique, quilt applique, this is one that is on my short list. And then this book, which is my favorite book, I think there's just the one. Well, nope, there's more in here. So this is the other one that I want to do. I love it. And I think I'm probably going to use, this is the colorway that I'm toying with. So this is like chocolates, blushes, neutrals, taupes, greens, some pink in there. Yeah, look at that. So this is the colorway that I have in mind for that particular quilt. And I'll probably add or take away. Oh my gosh. That almost slid off the table. Add or take away from that particular palette. We'll see. We'll see. Then what else? So I want to show you next patriotic stitching. I want to show you my Patriotic WIPs. I'm going to show you a quick tour of the finishes that I have up in my dining room. And I'm sure there are more that I just don't have out. I don't know where everything is at the moment. Does that sound familiar? Anybody else in that same boat? So let me pause and I'm going to go take you on a tour of my Patriotic finishes, and I'll clean up a few things here, and then I'm going to show you some Patriotic WIPs because this is the time to do it. Before you know it, it's going to be fall, and we're going to move into stitching Halloween and fall stitching. So, and then it'll be Christmas. So hang on and let's go take a quick tour. This is in my dining room, and I can't remember if I think I showed some of this on Instagram. My friend Kim from Canada and I did a gift exchange. She made these three. Aren't they amazing? These three preschooler strawberries, and they are so beautifully finished. I cannot even tell you how beautiful they are. This is Ursula Michaels, Stars and Stripes Forever. I believe that might have been out of a magazine, but I don't recall. That was stitched probably 20 or so years ago. And it's on, I think it's on like 14 Count Eda. This is Blackbird Designs. These are their Deck the Halls. I just stuck it here because it was in the way and I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so that's where it landed. This is Lady Liberty by Blackbird Designs, finished by Faye Rigsby, Carolina Stitcher. She did a gorgeous job. Look at how well that matches. Just really nicely done. This is a Stacy Nash little kit, and I used walnut staining on it. It is super primitive. Little bit of a courageous move, but you know, it worked out just fine. It's a little dark, but it's okay. This is a book. This is a painting that I did in a painting class, and look at the crackle on that. Is that not crazy? I love the crackle. This is by Michelle Palmer. She does a lot of punch needle designing, and she's a watercolor artist, I think. She also does pen and ink. This is a pen and ink drawing of hers. This is a Cooler Designs pattern. I don't know who the artist's name is, but there are 4 designs in this series. There's a Christmas one that I finished, and then a spring, a Christmas/winter, the summer, a spring, and an autumn. So this is the summer, and I had so much fun stitching this. It was a blast. I had fun with that one. This is my Early Americans by Little House Needlework, done by Jolynn at Acorns and Threads. So there's Martha Washington, Molly Pitcher, John Hancock, Nathan Hale, Freedom. It's a center block. Betsy Ross, Abigail Adams, Patrick Henry, and Paul Revere. This also is a Little House Needleworks. I think it's like Jams and Jellies. I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's really adorable. Sort of that Priscilla finish. This is the class that I took. Actually, no, I take that back. This is a retreat piece from Priscilla's first retreat that she did at Midwest with Michelle Rudy. We stitched it ahead of time, only I stitched it up to the very last second, and then we finished it in class, and it was so much fun. This is a piece by the enamel pieces from Hobby Lobby. And then this last one is a Shepherd's Bush. This is Old Glory, and it's a kit that you can buy. I think it's still available. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour of some patriotic stitching. I feel a little out of my groove here, so hopefully this all comes together and is somewhat fluid. I'm not promising though, who knows. So let's talk about some patriotic WIPs here, and maybe this will inspire me to get some things done this month. So this one is on my short list. This one is probably about half done. It is Heartstreak Sampleries, Stars and Stripes Forever. This was a club kit through, I think it was Dying to Stitch, and it is available for purchase. You can get it on her website, not as a kit necessarily, but you can get the pattern. Here is how far I am. Right, I've got the top half done. I think I just need to finish some of this bit here, maybe a couple of silver stars, and then the bottom. And really, I could do this in like a day or two. It could be done quickly. So there's no excuse for me not to not get that done. I need encouragement. So help support me and get this little WIP completed by the end of the month. Oh, I'm not going to be able to put this stuff back in here. Nope. I'll stick it to the side. So here's this one. The next one is the drawn thread. Oh, this has a little charm that's fallen down the side. This is the drawn thread, and it is 12 Houses Sampler. Isn't that sweet? The last one was stitched on fabric that came with the kit. This one is on lamb's wool, and I want to say this might be on 32. No, probably it might be 40. But lamb's wool kind of stands up on its own. This, again, this one won't take long at all. And I want to say these trees, they might have been charted as a specialty stitch, and I think I didn't notice it until I was done. And I was like, well, it is what it is, right? I don't have time to pull stuff out if it's not going to be something that's going to be super, super distracting to the finish. And the threads are right here. What I noticed is that I have all my DNC bobbinated, and I will just keep it that way. It's simpler because I have almost a whole set bobbinated. It doesn't bother me. Some people it bothers that it's got a little bit of a bend to it when you unravel it, but it doesn't really bother me. It seems to stitch okay for me. But I have a lot of my stuff out of my double case, and so when I go to stitch and I need a DMC 632, it's not in there because it's in this project. So again, I need to get some of these done and completed and back to their little spot where they're supposed to be in the case. All right, let's take this to the side. Stack these up. This next one is Brenda Gervais, and it is Summer in Baltimore. Brenda just showed this, I think, from Brendan the Serial Starter on her video that I watched in the truck on the way home, on the car on the way home. So my husband, God bless him, he was done peopling for the weekend, but I was still interested in listening to someone. So I pulled up my Flosstube in the car and listened to it. So that and Betsy Klager. So there's a combo for you. It's beautiful. And the finish that was done on Brenda's was really pretty. This is how far I am. And it didn't take long to get this far. Honestly, this will stitch up super quick. But then I have to finish it. And I could send it out to be finished, but I think Michelle Rudy did one of these. I want to say she finished it the way it was designed. And she said Brenda's instructions were really good. So I might just suck it up and do my own finishing on that. And this is the extra, there's a piece that sits inside. I don't know if it's a pin cushion or what you would consider that. So I just need to get those stitched. We'll see what I get done this month. This one, I love stitching this one. I love it. Olive is in Brenda Gervais and Hannah Wallace. When I got done with Hannah Wallace, what do you think I did? I put all my stuff back on my rings. So when I look for olive, I have to remember to look on my rings. Summer at Cherry Hill. Somebody else is working on this. Who was working on this and made great progress? Remind me. Anyway, this is how far I am. This is a lot of fun to stitch on. Now that bee skip doesn't show up real well in the middle of the olive, but I think it'll be okay. You know, it's sort of got that vintagey look to it. That red is awesome. And this, I believe, is part of a piece of 40 count sand by Picture This Plus, because I think it's the same fabric that the Patriot sampler is being stitched on. Again, this is my thread. I just don't have things on thread keeps. I have a lot of thread keeps. I don't know why I haven't put them on there. Lazy. I guess I'd rather stitch than mess around with some of this stuff. Yeah, it's all the neutrals, the you know, greens and golds and a little bit of red for the dress. I would love to stitch on this one too. Again, we shall see. We shall see. Next, this one, which I just got the retreat, the May Midwest retreat. This is a retreat piece that you should look for next year from Plum Street. This is called Live on Little. It's a little bit glossy here. Here, I'll take this out. Live on Little. It's patriotic. It's nautical. Super Plum Street. This is how far I am with that stinking adorable mermaid. Working my way up the side and across. And I am excited to get back on this one. Hey, in my last video, I covered some ideas on how to find out about retreats. And I had a viewer make a comment, and I completely overlooked this on the video. And that is, guilds are excellent ways to find out about retreats. I don't currently belong to a guild. I hope to do that, to join maybe next year as I head toward retirement in the next couple of years. But they offer sometimes, if it's EGA, it might be a national class, or if it's a local chapter, they might have a designer come and speak, or maybe a curator or someone who's highly knowledgeable will present different patterns or samplers. So that is I appreciate the reminder on that. I completely missed it. And so there is a great way to find out about retreats. The next one is, here's another Where Liberty Dwells. This is by Heartstring Samplery. You'd think I could talk today, but I can't. This is it's a huswife. And this is as far as I have gotten. Now, I think I showed this recently, and I haven't stitched on this again. But again, these smalls should go pretty quickly. So I am glad I have July, so I'm really conflicted on whether I'm going to work on Ann Dale. And what I might do is just like work on Ann for a couple of days, work on another project for a day or two. I might go sort of back and forth that way to see if I can get some of these done. This one I recently showed. I haven't worked on it anymore. This is Summer at Hollyberry Farm. I just love these. I love these Stacy Nash pieces. Stacy Nash. And this is on 40 count Espresso by R&R. And isn't this just so pretty? I love this piece. So, I don't want to say feminine, but it just has a real light touch to it. Very beautiful. And someday I would love to take a class from Stacy Nash, or go to a retreat, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think I've actually ever taken a cross stitch class per se. I've been to retreats with designers who've gifted us things, but I've never taken a class in either cross stitch or quilting. And I would benefit from it because really I'm just self-taught. This is Let Freedom Ring by Abby Rose Designs. My sister stitched this last year and finished it. I think she framed it too. The colors are fantastic in this. Oh, where is it? Here it is. I was like, oh no. This is where I am on it. It seems like this stitched up pretty quickly. There's a lot of stitching on this, though. Don't be surprised. It's a little bit bigger piece than you might think. And it looks like it's being stitched on maybe pecan butter. I don't know. I'd go back and look at my Instagram post from last year. Might be pearl barley. I like sad. And the colors are in here. They're beautiful. So I have so much thread committed to so many projects. It kills me every time I pull these things out and do whip parades or what have you, because I think I don't need to buy any more thread until I get them done, get some projects done. This is Blackbird with my needle. I don't think this one is around. I don't think you can find this one in a store. I would check secondary market, or maybe Blackbird will print this again. That would be fantastic. I stitched this over one for the Smalls Exchange at the Midwest Retreat. But mine for me is over 2, and I want to say this might be Exemplar. No, this is Buttercream. It's 2 over 2. And again, it goes quickly. It's such a pretty design. And here are my threads. Again, not on a floss ring, but beautiful colors. This one has nothing put into it. No thing. I need to get on this one. This was a unicorn chart that a viewer sent me. Merrily Beams. Prize Your Liberty. This is gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I think this is being stitched on ivory linen. This is I don't know if this is the top or the bottom. It's probably the bottom right corner. I'm sure it's the bottom. That's where I usually start. Bottom left corner. When I stitch on the Q-snap two-handed stitch, I start in the lower left corner. If I'm stitching in hand, I usually start in the lower right corner. And I tend to go horizontally better with stitching in hand, although I can go vertically. Either way, up or down. I can go right to left pretty easily. I have a hard time going from left to right. It just takes practice, probably. Not much done on this. I can't wait to sit and really focus on this one. I think I substituted all the colors on it because I was running out of thread when I was kitting up everything for Stitch Mania last year. Now, the next one, this is fun to stitch. Michelle finished and is getting this one framed. Michelle Rudy. American Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I think I'm using the call for colors on this one. And I believe I'm stitching this one on, it's a Lakeside navy bean. Most likely it's navy bean. Colors, and this is as far as I've gotten, not very far. So I need to get into that grass because it's going to be forever getting that done. Next is Liberty Days. Now this is by You and I and Friends. It's cute. I really don't like what I'm stitching on. I'm not a big fan of this. In fact, I'm probably going to take out the blue and stitch it with 2 because it's right now you can see a lot of the light blue behind it. And I just don't care for the way that looks. It's very, I don't know. And maybe it's this linen. Am I using 2 threads? No, I think I'm just using 1. Yeah, I'm just using 1. I don't love it. Probably switch something on that. I have several You and I and Friend patterns, and I do like her patterns for sure. Here's another Dying to Stitch Club piece. This is, I don't know where the picture is. Where is it? Oh, here it is. No? Yeah, here. Clustered Stars. The Clustered Stars. It's a needle book. Now, I thought this was kind of a smaller piece. It's not. It's a bigger piece, and there's multi-pieces. So some assembly is required with this. And I have one portion of the border on one page. So this is the size of the needle book. It's pretty big. And there's the interior fabric, I believe, and there's a flag that goes in there, but you've got a coffee tea diet, and it's a little fussy. It's a little bit of a fussy one, but I'm sure maybe on one of these first weekends of the month when we're all stitching Blackbird, I will pull that out. Here is Grace on Thee by Plum Street. So when you're doing videos, like what I found when I do videos, sometimes I know exactly what it is and I say the wrong name. And just know that it's something, I don't know what happens to your brain on these videos. You'll completely say something, you're like, why did I say that? I know this is Plum Street and not Brenda Gervais, but sometimes the wrong thing comes out. So just know that sometimes Flosstube is hard. And it's simply, I don't know what happens. It just does. But this is as far as I have stitched on this. Not real far. Very dense stitching, which is sort of Paulette's, you know, MO. She designs that way, and I'm here for it. I love it. All right. I can spend about 2 hours putting stuff away when I'm done here. Some Gave All. This is by Heartstring. And I don't remember. This, I believe, is an R&R fabric. I just have a little bit done. Now I have an idea of a finish that I want to do to incorporate these two and a third free pattern that she sent out to people who bought this kit. So hopefully, might not be this year. Hopefully I get to that. This one was fun to stitch on too. God dang, I have so many things I want to work on. Pretty as a peacock, Little House Needleworks. How cute is that? Not very far. Again, that 40 count lamb's wool that stands up by itself, but it's all right to stitch on. It does sort of loosen up over time. Loosen up. And this is by the City Stitcher, the Liberty Sampler. This one, I believe you can pick up on their Etsy store. Look at the eagles on that. And that checkered foundation. Love that. This is my enormous start on this. Shameful. And I probably need to do something with this. I mean, come on. There's no excuse. Trim that up. Okay, so I have a serger, a true confession of a Flosstuber and crafter. My serger's in a box in a cabinet, and I haven't taken it out as long as we've lived here. Yep, true story. So I could take it out and serge, I just haven't. I don't know. It's almost easier because my sewing machine is set up for me to turn the edge and sew it down 1/4 of an inch. It stops the fraying. It's easier to do that than drag out the serger. All right, here's the other. I guess I did a little bit more on this one. This is the other sort of companion piece that went with the this Flag Day by Heartstrings. I think this is the same fabric too. I got a little bit more done on this one. Every day's Flag Day. Get to see Beth Twist at the retreat in Missouri in September. So I'm looking forward to that. This next one is Blue Ribbon Designs. What is this one called? Proud and True. And I want to say this is on 40 Count Bittersweet by Lakeside. This is all DMC, and you can see great color contrast there. It was fun to stitch on this. Put that in. And then this is a work basket, the Village. That's a fun one. I want to say this is 40 Count Exemplar. Probably is. The trees on this pattern are fantastic. They're so quirky and fun. And some unexpected colors on here too. Like there's a purple. There's a purple. There is like a yellow, red, blue, rust. It's got all the colors in it. So that'll be fun to stitch that up. How far are we? I don't know. Oh, I am so behind on this little stitch along. So Donna from Stitching, what is her channel name? Stitching in the She Shed. If that's wrong, I'll put it down here. But Donna's a friend of mine. Met her at the Midwest retreats, and she and Jean and Lori and I went to Country Sampler when Laura and I did sort of a 3 retreat tour a couple of years ago. And we would go upstairs. We stayed in the apartment upstairs and, you know, sleep in and drink coffee and chit chat. And then we would go downstairs and shop and then go back upstairs and chit chat some more and look at what each other bought. And I'm like, oh, I need that. So we go back downstairs and buy more stuff. So it was a very highly enabling trip. Donna and I bought this pattern, and Jean bought this pattern. I don't know if Lori bought it, but we all kitted it up with clearance Belsoise that they had in the basement. So it's Grand Old Flag by, Your Grand Old Flag by Sampler's Not Forgotten. One of my favorite designers. These are the colors. I'm dying. They're gorgeous. I think I added a couple of different colors to this. Yeah. I wonder if this might be all of the threads that were in this one. I don't remember. In the thread pack, but isn't this pretty? And I stitched in a way that like, and this is on Pearl Barley. I think it's vintage Pearl Barley. When I started in the upper left corner, but when I stitched the strawberries, I stitched the darker toward the base of the strawberry up to the lighter toward the top. And I want to say like each strawberry took maybe, it might have taken one length of thread. I can't recall. The colors though, and the silks are just gorgeous. They are absolutely stunning. So I do stitch some with silk, but I don't stitch everything with silk. You know, economically, it didn't really make sense to do that for me, and I don't begrudge anybody who does because I love silks for sure. I do. Okay. The last one I have in this bag, and probably the last Patriotic I'll show you today, is Salt Box Quilt Shop. Again, I really like stitching this. I feel like that should be a hashtag. I really like stitching this. Salt Box Quilt Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And this is stitched on, this also is 40 Count Espresso by R&R. And this is, oh, that smells good. And this is as far as I am. I think 2 of the DMCs are too close in color, so I stopped, and I'm going to change. I'm going to change them because you can see sort of the pieced, it looks like a sawtooth border. It's supposed to look like a sawtooth border on a quilt, and it's not quite strong enough on this particular dye-lot of fabric. So I'm probably going to switch that up. Not sure if I'll get back to this one this year or not. You have to be real about things, right? That is what I have for today. It's sort of a longer, ramblier video. I'm getting back in the swing of things. And remember with the giveaway, you have to be 18. If you're not 18, please do not give me your address. It can be anywhere. I'll ship anywhere in the world for a pattern, and either say justice or liberty and tell me who you're watching on Flosstube, who you want to shout out so that I can shout them out next time. Hopefully I get back in a couple of weeks. We'll see how life is going. But now that we're past the hotter than Hades weather, hopefully we're back into our regular summer, beautiful summer routine. And I hope no matter where you are that you're having a great summer or winter if you're living in the southern hemisphere. So take care. Have a great holiday season.